Good morning. This is Howie, and I'm here to help you win with money. Today is a new day in week number 6, February 8th, 2021. Before we begin, congratulations to Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for winning the Super Bowl. But on to bigger news. You see, this is the big news for today. Tesla invests 1.5 billion in Bitcoins. Let's see what that means. In this article, you will see that Tesla will accept Bitcoin as payments. So you can buy a car at Tesla using Bitcoin. He is tweeting quite a bit recently on Bitcoin and even Dogecoin, and that has caused the market to invest in those particular asset classes. And this morning, if you go here to Cointelegraph, you will see that it touched 44,000 this morning and it's pushing all the other cryptos up. So this is big news. And just to show you the one day chart, Bitcoin was trading 38,000 for the most of the weekend, and then this morning when news broke out based on the filing, you see this, it jumped $5,000. And the next thing is, what does it mean when companies are buying $1.5 billion in Bitcoins? So let me try to explain this real quick. As a business, most companies, when you have extra money, you leave it in cash, or you have some type of line of credit with your bank that will enable you to use the money to do whatever you need, right? You want to build a new factory, you want to invest in something, you have money. But what a lot of companies are doing now is they're starting to, instead of holding cash that sort of does nothing for you on your balance sheet, companies like Square has been buying Bitcoins. Now Square doesn't buy a lot. I think the last time they announced it was about $50 million or maybe $100 million at a time. And the other company is MicroStrategy that is doing this. So MicroStrategy is a BI company, business intelligence. They sell software, but they're getting more famous for not even running the business, but because they're constantly buying Bitcoins on their balance sheet. And here's a quick article. The last time they did it, they added another 295 Bitcoins worth $10 million. And when you read the total that they own 71,000 Bitcoins worth $1.1 billion. So companies are starting to buy it. So there's retail investors, right? People who are getting into Bitcoin pretty early, as early as 2009. So a few years ago, big companies started getting into it, but there were mostly institutional investors. Even Fidelity they have their own digital asset group, and other big companies are starting to move into this space, but most of them are asset managers. What's different this time is a lot of Fortune 1000 companies are starting to set aside a little bit of cash and they're buying Bitcoins. And what they realize is if this thing is fake, it will be a risk to their balance sheet, right? You will actually lose money if it goes to zero. But what they're realizing is, for the most part, this asset or this digital coin has actually been increasing in value. And you can't do that with a US dollar. You can't sit on a USD, leave it in the bank, and then 5 years later, your US dollar actually increase in value. That's not how it works. So this becomes a very interesting play for big companies. And again, Tesla's not the first to do it. MicroStrategy does it, and Square has been doing it. And here you see, here's the article on Square. They bought another. This one was not too long ago, a couple months ago. They're investing 50 million, and I think they did another one recently where they announced they were buying more. So when you go back to the markets, things look green. The futures are green. Market's going to open up in a few minutes. The big trade that I need to worry about is Riot blockchain. Here you go. It's up 17% in pre-market value. I actually have a cash secure put on this. And so I want to move my cash secure put closer in time. So I'm going to roll it in, and I'm going to move my thing is listed, my strike price is listed at 21.50. I need to move this thing up to like a 25 or $26 to capture some premium, because my contract will probably, it's going down in value, which is what you want. but I can probably make more by moving a little bit closer, and it gives me a little bit more options to play this movement. Now, the big risk is if Bitcoin drops back down to 38 or 36,000, then I'm sort of on the hook to buy Riot blockchain at a higher price than I really want to buy it for. So let's get ready for that type of trade when the market opens. Okay, and the order went across. I collected 82 cents credit. What I ended up doing was I closed out the February 26th. It was a 20, I'm sorry, I closed out my March 5th 2150 cash secure put, and I shortened it by, that's 1 week I think, or is that 2 weeks? Let me check the calendar. Yeah, so I moved it from here, the 20, it was March 5th, and I moved it up here. So I shortened it up, collected more premium, and then what I'm trying to do is, if Bitcoin keeps on moving up, I can keep on shortening it up, collect more premium. If it goes down, I can still roll down. But the whole strategy is I'm just using this to collect premium every week, or depending on what happens. So we'll see what happens next. So the next trade we're looking at is Visa. So Visa, we have an iron condor that we opened up several weeks ago. You can see the prices here, and if you do the math, you can sort of figure out how much we receive. Another way to do it is I have it in the spreadsheet. So that's this one here. 2 contracts, February 26th is the expiration. There's 19 days left, and I normally track everything here. You can see the price is at 209.50. So if I plug that in right here, 209.50, and that will tell me how close or how far it is. And obviously this one should not be green, this should be red here. But that's pretty easy to fix. You can just do something like this. There you go. So what that's telling me is, for this particular one, I got $105 for each contract. What it's telling me today is I can most likely close it for about 52, which will put me in it hit my $50 profit margin, and I can close it. So that's what I'm going to do. I rather close Visa, and then I'll probably open more SPYs. I'm starting to like doing indexes, so I feel a lot safer playing the indexes than playing these single stock names. You know, Microsoft, Visa, Intel, it just requires a lot of managing. You have to require to row if you're wrong. You have to know what you're doing, and sometimes it's just an easier strategy. Playing the index is a little bit easier. Let's try closing this out for, I always start low just in case. Most likely it's going to get executed at 52. Oh, I may even have it open already. I have something for 37 already. So if that's already open, I can just do something like this. Let's just move it up to like 39 because it's been open since market. So let's try that. I'll let you know when it gets sold. I'll just move it up a few pennies every time. And here you go. Let's see. Okay, on my next trade, I have a February 19 $15 strike price on a cash secure put. You see I collected $85 premium and it's only worth $25 today. What I'm going to do is, there's a lot of choices. I can move this to $17.50. What that means is it's another 2 weeks and I can collect premium. But this is such a small premium, I'm actually going to push my luck, move it up to a $20 one and collect. I want $100 in my pocket today. So that's what I'm going to try to push for. And because I'm comfortable with rolling, I rather just keep on collecting premium on a stock that I don't really want to own. People think that cash secure puts, you love the company, you want to own it. I don't necessarily want to own anything. I just want to make money using my cash. And this is one way for me to do so. So now that I have the order in, I'm going to just keep on lowering it until it gets executed. So 105, let's go a little bit under the mid. And if it's not, I have to lower it to about 102 or $100, and it'll get executed. So that's the next trade. The other ones are open. I probably got to lower it one more time and hit the refresh. Oh, it went across. And you will see it when I go up here. It definitely went across because you can see the orders disappeared. So I'm still waiting. I wanted to close my other iron condors out, but they're not closing. There's no pressure. Visa is at 210, so I have a lot of room on either side. And same thing with the SPY. These two, I have no pressure to close or manage the position. I can just let time decay do its magic, and I will make money there. I'm gonna open a new iron condor on S&P SPY. Now this one's normally shorter than I normally like, but I think S&P is at all-time highs. I'm gonna play this for a short-term move. I'm gonna collect 86 cents for contract. I'm not sure how long I'll be this in. I think a lot of it depends on what happens to the market. I mean, there's rumors of stimulus package still coming out. That still may push the market up. Some people think the market have ran ahead of itself, and the markets will eventually just sort of flatten out or stable out. So I'm just trying to play some extra moves. And what that means is I put it over here, and you'll see it falls in line with sort of my projections of SPY. And what I mean by that is all of these have a 410 and 412 will be tested. Because I created these a while ago, you see it has a lot of room to move down. On the shorter one, I just narrowed it a little bit so that the deltas are roughly about the same. So this is a negative 15 delta on this side and a 10 delta on the call side. The width is much more narrow, but it's a shorter time frame. I'm not playing this to zero expiration. Sometimes you play it to, because I'm starting at 19, I may play it until a week, maybe even 10 or 11 or 12 days. So it's a little bit harder. I mean, shorter the amount of time, you expose yourself to more gamma risk. If you're opening stuff with 30, 40, or 50 days, there's less gamma risk, but you make less per day. So it's the balance. You have to decide what the right balance is. Right, shares are still moving up. So I may actually do another trade for today, which is really crazy. I already moved it and I'm shortening it up. I'm going to move it one more week and I'm going to move it a little bit closer to the strike price. And you can see I can still get a net credit, but I started at 50 cents. I'm going to move it to 40 cents here. And the goal is to not move it to the current market price. You want to give yourself some room so that when this reverses, I can still roll down. Remember, this is a cash secure put, so I don't want to own Riot. I'm just trying to collect premiums and play this as the market is moving in the opposite direction, right? Cash secure put means I'm obligated to buy at a certain price in the future. By shortening it, it gives me some time to do a lot more stuff, like to roll back into the future. So this is why I'm willing to move it 1 week closer, move it up, because if I'm wrong and this changes, if this drops back to 25, I can always roll into the future, back into March or in April. So this is a weird way of doing it, but it's a way where you can still collect a premium by just adjusting the dates and or the strike price. And you'll see I'm just playing around with it. I'm just trying to get this thing across. It's not going at 25 cents. I'm going to have to get closer to 17. And we'll see what happens. And I think it finally went across. So you see it. I did roll it 1 week closer. And I moved it to a 27.50 strike price on my cash secure put. And I had a net credit. You can see the difference between the 32 and the 45. That puts me in another net credit. So I think that would be all trading that I will do for today. Thanks again for watching. Please comment below. Let me know what you think about Bitcoin and what you think about Tesla. Whether or not companies should be adding Bitcoin to their balance sheet. They're converting cash to hold a different type of asset class. Let me know what you think. Is it a good move? Is it a bad move? Is Square, MicroStrategy, Tesla on the wrong side of history? Or will time tell that not only was it a brilliant move, but instead of sitting on cash, these businesses were able to double or triple or quadruple their value by holding Bitcoins in on their balance sheets, so that these companies actually gain money with cash that could have been used to, normally you buy investment in running your business. But what if part of running your business is saying, hey, I'm going to invest in Bitcoin because the returns are there where they can make double or triple or quadruple their money pretty quick. And if that's a true statement, should you be doing the same as a retail investor, as an individual? Should you be putting $100 in cash every paycheck to hold Bitcoins? So let's do this together. Let's do this $1 at a time. As always, have a profitable day. Bye-bye.